Welcome back to Wrestling with Ski. I was making sure that actually didn't screw me. Again, I don't know what the hell's going on. I've done all kinds of stuff, but for some reason, that glitchiness there at the beginning still keeps happening. So I don't know, but welcome back. If you're listening, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So check out the video and you can see me just sitting there going, the blankest face known to mankind, waiting to see if the thing was going to screw up. But finally, getting into some AEW. Finally. Like it's been forever, but it was overall good. I mean, there could have been some better stuff, but I enjoyed it. We start out with Rampage on Friday night because Dynamite moved to Saturday, which I think it's doing again this week. But CM Punk defeating Matt Sydal. I don't care what you say. I mean, between the sportsmanship, whatever they were saying, to each other back and forth after the match and all that, and that big hug. I mean, that was a hell of a match. Two guys that were in WWE before. Obviously, Punk was still Punk then, and Matt Sydal was Evan Bourne. And he was great then. He's had a lot of demons, and they put on a hell of a match. I mean, that was much more enjoyable than the rest of the night to me, just match wise. They put on a hell of a show. It's phenomenal. I don't care what anyone says. That was the match of that night. At least the televised stuff, not the stuff that was on their YouTube channel beforehand for the last hour of SmackDown. Which had great matches, but I'm just going over the televised stuff because I don't know if everyone got to see everything that was on the YouTube thing beforehand. So, great match. I think stole the night. Great back and forth. Punk again. Now he's back in his normal tights that we all grew to love him in. Now the long pants. We'll see where they go. He hasn't made up his mind. I think he should just stay in those normal trunks. Just looks weird seeing him in those long pants. But that's just me. Just because it's him. CM Punk look. It's just weird seeing him in long pants. But whenever he wants to do, as long as he keeps having matches like he has, have all been really good. And again, Matt Sydal, hell of a talent, put on a great match the two of them did. And I was super okay with it. Very okay with it. Actually, if they could do that again, I'm down. And, again, sportsmanship handshake, the hug. And they sit there and talked for the longest time after the match. God knows what they were saying, but they do have history again. They were at the WWE at one point. They both work for the machine. They're both doing their thing, It was good to see, though. I was okay with it. I mean, I thought it was match of the night. Comment and tell me I'm an idiot, but I thought it was the match of the night. Then Ruby Soho defeated the Bunny, Good match. I think the Bunny underrated. Do I think she's the best thing going? No, but still put on a hell of a match with Ruby. Ruby looks better now than she did WWE. But, again, she's allowed to do more now. So it's kind of be expected. Again, just because they could do, obviously, more. Because they don't have those shackles that everyone always talks about the WWE putting on them. You have your moveset, you have this, you have that. And that's just the way it is. Deal with it. Some people it works for. Some people it doesn't. And some people, their character, the way it was, is only going to go so far with the way the machine operates and the stuff they let them do. Again, look at all of them. Outside out, look at them there. Ruby, Punk, Jericho, Jack Hager, Malachi. FTR I was never a fan of, but that's another story. Look at Miro. I mean, look at him compared to, how over he was in WWE, but what they let him, like how far they let it actually go to pretty much nothing. I mean, he had that big title run at the beginning. They gave him the big main event push, but they never put it on him, even though he was the most over thing there. There's just guys that play it that, once they leave, and gals, they let them do more, and you can tell, and it leads to good stuff. Mox is in there. Adam Cole. I mean, there's Brian Danielson. Yeah, I did say it right the first time. Sorry, I had to make sure. They let them all do it. So I think her matches are better. I think they're going to keep getting better. I just, especially, not being in the machine again, because like there's a lot of them that need work. Can use the experience in AEW in the female side. And I mean, what was Ruby going to do? I mean, look at that. Becky, Sasha, Charlotte, Bailey when she comes back. I mean, Bianca's there. Like, there was nowhere to stick her. They weren't going to do anything with her. So, them letting her go, I think, was the best thing they could have done all around. What's the point of keeping her and let her go off and do stuff and improve her stock, which I think she is. But all around, good stuff. I mean, Penelope Ford came down after the match. The attack with the bunny beat her down. Then the brass knuckles came into effect again. Yeah, that's her signature thing. But it leads to them getting matches with Ruby and Ruby getting to do stuff, and her experience, will help them. I'm not saying that they don't have any experience, but Ruby was around before she got to WWE, so I think it'll be really good and it'll lead to something good. And again, I enjoyed it. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but it was good. Now, I'm not looking for 5-star geniuses, coming out of this stuff. I just want to see good wrestling. No offense to the machine. There's a lot of time where it's not wrestling or it's just idiocy. I just want to see wrestling. And I think that's telling a good thing. And then again, leads us to the main event of the night with the men of the year and Junior Dos Santos defeating the Inner Circle. And Junior Dos Santos didn't look bad at all. So, that's saying something compared to some people that went from the UFC to WWE, AEW, did stuff in WCW. I mean, throughout all the times UFC fighters or athletes from other things have come over. I mean, Junior Dos Santos didn't look bad at all. Again, didn't look great, but compared to others, he looked pretty good. So that was good. I still love hearing, Judas getting sang all over the place. One day I'll get to see it live here in town. I had to cancel because of Florence and no makeup date. Just like, hell yeah, I'm supposed to come. Tom needed surgery on his hand. No makeup date yet. Now that he's doing stuff with Mudvayne, God knows when it'll happen. But Junior Dos Santos look good. Judas playing. Jack Hager looks, phenomenal again since he left. He went MMA and is undefeated. I mean, he was one of those people just like Ruby that I mentioned. I mean, look at him, how far he went, as far as he could go with Jack Swagger and that character in the machine, as I call it. Like, that was as far as he was going. No one's ever, if you try to argue that, I mean, you're crazy. That's as far as it was going to go. I mean, the real American thing. I mean, that was really good at irritating the holy hell out of people. And it was a good character. Him and Zeb did good. Not trying to take anything away from that at all. That was good. But him, since he left, it's letting him do, more him. Have more creativity. He's not stuck in his thing, and just the character itself. We all know that was going to have its limits and its ceiling in WWE at the machine there. Because again, look at the time he was there and all the guys that were still going then. Like, he wasn't going to fit into that, mold, into that thing with the guys that were still wrestling at the time. So, him getting to go and do MMA and now this, I think, is really good. It shows a different side of him. He got to go build stock in the UFC because he was out there. He's UFC, MMA world. He's out there, winning. Like, he's undefeated. He went out there and did the damn thing. Punk went out there and got mauled, but again, age difference, all that experience. Swagger could wrestle like in real life. There's difference, between that, but he went out and it didn't hurt Punk. I mean, he was going out there to see if he could do it, just to do it. But I thoroughly enjoy seeing what he's doing since he's out of the machine. And he's, Hager's doing really good and doing a great job to it. And, I mean, no matter how much American Top Team, hurts my head, that whole thing, they're telling a good thing. I mean, what I like to hear dude shut his mouth every once in a while, yes, but I mean, that's what he's supposed to do, is just antagonize and piss everyone off. And he's, I mean, they're really good at that. I mean, don't get why Paige Van Zandt said maybe she's going to start wrestling people at some point. Otherwise, she's just there taking selfies and looking good. I mean, good on her. And I think she could transition over. If they beat down the Inner Circle after the match, Santana Ortiz, come back to a pop to clear American Top Team and the whole thing out of the ring, and a fully reunited Inner Circle is in the ring as Rampage goes off the air. So overall, I mean, to have Junior Dos Santos do his thing, they put on a good match. I mean, it was back and forth. There's all kinds of stuff flying all over God's creation. I mean, cutters popping here, there, and everywhere. I mean, they did a phenomenal job. I enjoyed it. They got everything in they needed for an hour. Again, Ruby and the Bunny, Penelope gets involved. That could spread that to another thing. Punk and Seidel, great match. Both showing what they could do. Seidel showing that he still got it. You never know. Think about Tonk because he could be on his way out the door. And he could show back up at Evan Bourne and, boom, be there one day and, go on another run. It could be done. You never know. I mean, what they were talking about. But again, I thoroughly enjoyed the night. I mean, call me crazy. And it's because they don't get too stupid, because they only have the hour. I think that's what, that's one of the good things about Rampage for me. It's an hour. So they can't, overdo it. It's not like some shows like Raw, which, is 3 hours, which there's a lot of dumb in there. And there's a lot of stuff that hurts your head and just leaves you scratching your head going, what were they even thinking of when they did that? Excuse me. And they do that, all the time. So the hour, I think, really helps to, clear a lot of chances of just dumb from happening, which I think is a blessing. It doesn't actually hurt anything. I think that improves it. But overall, it was a good Friday night. And if you watched everything on the YouTube channel beforehand for that hour, you got to see great matches there too. Tay Conti was in action. We had the Bryan Danielson match, which they were just pummeling each other. You could still see it on Bryan's chest. There's match in Dynamite on Saturday night. I mean, they were out. I mean, it was a good night. So if you didn't get to watch it, go back and watch it. We could even have a recap of that one day. I just want to give everyone a chance that didn't watch it, possibly didn't even know it was a thing. Like there's a thing on the YouTube channel for the last hour of SmackDown before they went on air. So there's that. We could talk about it. I didn't get to, watch it because I was busy doing stuff. So I want to go back and watch it again. And that gives people time that didn't know it was a thing to go in and watch it. So there's great matches, like lots of good stuff. So why not watch it? It ain't going to hurt nothing. I don't even care if it ain't a word and I ain't going to use it. There's some good wrestling on there. So check it out and we'll get to it later. That moves us on to Saturday night Dynamite. Maybe I just wanted to say it, which again was a great night. I mean, there was some, 2 hours. They gave him more time to, do some stuff. We got to see Malachi Black defeat Dante Martin. It was a great match. I enjoyed it. I mean, we got to see Malachi. I'd say give him a nod, on his way out. But yeah, I mean, his entrance is good. Again, they put on a great match. I could do without Leo Rush. I mean, there's something about him that always hurt my head. Not taking away from the talent. He's super talented. He just hurts my brain. Later on the night, he declared himself Dante Martin's new tag team partner, said he would have won if he just stuck to his plan and listened to him. So we'll see what they go with that. I mean, again, Leo, charismatic. He could talk. You always heard stories about having backstage heat. And for some reason, when you see stories like that, for some reason, the person becomes cruiserweight champion. Seems to be a thing. But super talented. So I'll see what they do. And again, if he's his new tag team partner, what does that mean for Matt Sydal? I mean, him and Punk, the handshake, the hug. I mean, they were talking for a solid minute there, it seemed, forever. For after a match. So maybe that was his way. And he was thanking him for letting me. I don't know, but it was, the match was great regardless. And again, I didn't get to see Dante Martin a lot. And I really like Malachi Black, get to do his thing. He's still incorporated, the stupid, like putting his, his eye into the steel stairs all the way back down with Seth, last year at the WWE thing. He still has all that playing in there, but I thought that he was horrifically, violently, egregiously, criminally underutilized once they put him on the main roster. With what he did in NXT, and then they put him up there and they called him up with Ricochet. And really, I mean, Still trying to figure out the reason. Someone could please tell me the reason as to why they did it. I cannot figure out why they called them up because they did nothing with them. And then when they finally started using him, they dumped him. So I hope he goes all the way to the top. Hopefully AEW sticks around so he could stay there, or one day it's too crowded there. Maybe WWE will give him, he'll give them a chance to give him another run and let him be the champion that he deserves to be. Because I still think he's one of the crazy, most talented people in the wrestling world. I mean, man can talk. He's got the look. I mean, the entrance, the move and skill set. I mean, there's just something about him that I can't believe that they did nothing with him over in WWE. So him going over there was perfect. And I was actually really, I mean, I wasn't even like watching AEW back then. I mean, really, I was just trying to play catch up all the time, just everything going on, lots of changes in life. Everyone knows how that is. And I was like, the second I saw they released him, I'm like, what the hell? And then when he put out a little vignette, I was like, thank you, God, but just use him. That's all I want. And he's been putting on great matches, doing good things. He's got that whole Nightmare Family thing with Cody and all them and Arn. And please keep using him. Don't waste him. I mean, him and Gargano's matches in NXT were gold, and that's like the last good thing he really actually did until it meant anything until he got to AEW and got to do all this, because again they wasted him. So good to see that. The Elite beat down the Jurassic Express, Jurassic Park, of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy backstage. And then later in the night, we did get to see Jungle Boy attack after Adam Cole and the Young Bucks defeated Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver, which was a great match. Much as the Young Bucks hurt my head looking at them. I mean, they can wrestle. I don't think they're as big as, I don't believe all the hype, but I get it. But we did get to see Jungle Boy attack. They got him out of the ring, came back in with the chair. So we got to get a little bit of a revenge, which seemed to be, I would say, the theme of the night. And also stay the hell away from Tony Schiavone, because every single person that got anywhere near him got attacked. But that's a whole nother story. And Punk was on commentary, which, by the way, thank you. That was good. Like, he had some jabs in there that were really good. That was good. Anyway, like, I got some stuff wrote down that just made me smile when he was running his mouth, so that was good. But the full inner circle reunite, verbal sparring with America Top Team and all of them. Again, Jericho starting in on everybody. Even got to Paige Van Zant. Making sliding into my DM. You in love with the champion, trying to slide into my DMs, and like the always popular and fun. I wouldn't touch Paige with her husband's genitalia, which is always good to hear a genitalia reference. I just miss those old him and Stephanie things. So thank God for YouTube and that and the network. I'm sure there's stuff on there that was just good stuff. The man's a 5-on-5, says doesn't get it. Numbnut says that he wants. That's what I call him now. He is Numbnuts. That's irritating soul, but says he wants to get a title match with Guevara, because now ATT and them are out for titles, and Guevara vows to kick everyone's ass next week. We'll see what they lead, what that leads to. Sammy Guevara is super talented. I'd hate to see the TNT title have to leave him so rapidly, so I think he's got to hold on to that. I mean, again, super freakishly talented. We'll see where it goes from there. Again, this obviously isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So as long as they keep it fresh, and again, now throwing shade at Paige, so maybe that means she's actually going to get in the ring and start at some point. I don't know. Only time will tell with that. We can always hope. We can always hope. I think she would fit it. I mean, she could learn at least there. There's a lot of people that are learning, so I think it could be good, but we'll see what they do with that. Again, overall decent segment. Got a lot of people airtime. and it wasn't overly drawn out and ridiculous, which is really what I hate about talking segments. Because most of them just hurt your brain a lot. Andrade introduces Los Super Runners as the tag team to go after to challenge for the AAA tag team titles against the Lucha Bros to get the titles off of them. They end up winning. Lots of comments from Punk and all the commentators talking about how it looks like FTR. To take the mask off, it was FTR. Tully Blanchard got involved. They got the titles off of the Lucha Bros, at least the AAA one. So we'll see what they do with that. If they just bring them down, let them go down there so they can work down there, and they still have the AEW tag title. Yeah, we'll see how they play all of that off. I think it could be really, really good. But we got to see how it works out. Again, Tully Blanchard still doing his thing. I can't complain about him. I mean, he's not out there, trying to wrestle in like a physical capacity. He's out there doing a thing. And again, I never liked FTR either. Even when they were over there in WWE, like the revival hurt my head. There's something about it. Like the wrestling, they just didn't fit in to the WWE mold. Now, I still don't like them here, so apparently I just didn't like them, but not taking away their wrestling or anything at all. So, I'm not saying that. They're doing good with what they're doing. I just don't like them, and I probably never will. So, deal with it. Some things you just can't change, and me and my feelings towards them are never going to go anywhere. But later on, we did get to see MJF reveal that he loaned FTR to Andrade for one night only. Andrade asked him if he wants his payment in cash or check. He says both. He takes it, after they all celebrate together and walks away. Which leads us into more MJF when he's trashing Miami and Darby Allin and plays off that he's confused as to what happened to Darby and why he's not there for his match. So he demands the referee, do the 10 count so he can get his victory. Lights go out right before 10. Enters Sting. With his bat, who came in, did his thing. The snow effects was good. Like, all that's I don't know what they're going to lead either to, Darby and MJF going out, like when he's better, Sting, MJF. I don't know what they're going to do with it. Probably Darby when he gets back. I don't know who they're going to put over on that, but again, it was overall good with MJF. Good segments. He can talk. He can irritate the holy hell out of people. He really knows how to piss people off, which in his role, he's on point, regardless of how you feel. That guy was, you want to know how to piss someone off, take some notes, because he's really, really, really good at irritating the holy hell out of other human beings. So we'll see what they do with it. Again, it leads to a lot of interesting stuff. Sting got to do the role, his spot perfectly, give him his thing. Like he's not overly doing it, which is really good. And when he goes to wrestle, he still can wrestle and go after everything, Seth and that buckle bomb repeatedly and all that. So he's filling his role good. He still gets to be Sting. He still gets to get in the match. In the matches, he helps tell the story. He's working with Darby to help build him up. Like, I really like, all of it. And I really hated how it all ended for Sting with all those buckle bombs. I thought they were unnecessary. So it was good. I like it. Again, MJF's good at his role. Darby's good at his role. Sting, enough said. Let's just see what they do with it. I don't think they're going to screw it up. Sting's got, super mind for all this. He's been in it for, dear God. Yeah, that many years. Dear God. You've been around for that many years. You have to stop and think about it, and it hurts. So I know they won't screw that up. Mox rolls to the ring and just mauled Wheeler Yuta. That was like, I think a minute maybe. And did his thing, hit the music, walked back out through the crowd. So that was, it was good for what it was, I suppose. See what they do with Mox going forward or how he feels about the whole company and everything. I don't know. I don't pay attention to any of that, but it's better than his stuff in WWE. He was too cartoony and stupid, rolling down to the ring like hot dog carts to attack people. I mean, it was just dumb. So dumb, but at least it was short to the point. Serena Deeb giving, interview backstage. Enter Hikaru Shida to attack her backstage. And they brawl, until the segment ends. And I believe we went to commercial, maybe. At least Tony Schiavone was right there. So he struck again. And I did have to say good on Punk for making a reference to how beautiful the head of hair on Serena Deeb's head was after, they came back and they were talking about it. So good for that. If anyone remembers, again, she was in the Straight Edge Society, shaved her head. Like, that was her. So, those little things in there. I don't know why it made me smile so much, but those little things to reference back to all that makes me smile. But we know they're not done. They put on a hell of a match last time they were in the ring. So I'm glad that continues. Cody and Arn continue their thing. Cody in the ring fighting off everybody. Arn shows him a clip of his dad, getting violent. No, it's so funny he had to in the ring and the fans not going off on him. And suddenly it leads to Cody getting a mean streak of some sort. So we'll see what they do with that. Just get to it already. Damn it. Just do the damn thing. Do it. Maybe I'm tired of waiting. Maybe I'm impatient, man. Maybe I hate stupid segments like that. I just think it's dumb. And I get what they're doing. I get why they're doing it. It's not my favorite thing. I mean, you got to do really good for those things to be my thing, and I just don't like it. Anna Jane, Britt Baker brawl backstage after, Britt's talking trash about the losers from, Dark Order, and they lost to the Super Click. That goes to a brawl backstage. So we obviously know where that's going forward now. Britt and Anna are going to lock up. So see how it goes from there. Penelope Ford defeats Kira Hogan. Punk asking if she's related to any other Hogan. And sooner or later, someone told him, how'd they put it? That's enough at one point. So, again, subtle little things there with Punk, but it was a good match. Back and forth. Kira did, mount to comeback. Their superplexes, really good spots, and the submission at the end looked good. And she finally, Penelope finally got her to tap out. But good match, back and forth, building stuff, telling a good story. And Ruby hit the ring to again get her revenge while Penelope was raising her arm. So, or at least some sort of revenge. Which again, a lot of people seem to get their revenge at some point. And it tells the story, drags it on longer. So, Penelope and Ruby, I think it's going to be phenomenal. If they do it right. So, got to wait and see if they do with that. But it's going to be better than anything she did in WWE. And that's the important thing. Move them along and help improve everybody. Which is really, really, really good. Miro wants to be God's favorite champion. Gave a promo, talking to God. He doesn't do so. Give him a sign soon. He's going to get violent. Whatever. I like Miro's thing going on there. God's favorite champion. So it'll be great. Whatever they do with them, it's better than they did in WWE. And he plays the role really, really well, regardless of what people think. All those matches were good. He was one of the best wrestlers on the planet. So over, again, WWE, that it's good to see him actually getting something that's substantial and actually means something besides just a catchphrase and getting nowhere with it. So I'm sure he's going to get right back in that, picture again sooner than later. Really, hopefully sooner than later. We'll see. Hangman Page comes out and talks cowboy shit, about forming AEW with his friends and the elite and change the business. Seems like the business actually changed them. And how he lost friends, a lot of matches, titles, and everything along the way. Which, again, it was a great promo. I mean, told how it was. You believed it, which so many promos you can't in the world. So that was really, really good. Sure, Kenny's going to hold on to the title, but Great promo. He's back. It was a good way to put him in there. So this is the first time he feels motivated and feels he's ready for all of this and all that. So see where it goes from here. It's really all you can do. I think it's going to be a great match. I mean, Dave Meltzer's going to love it and give it 75 stars because it's Dave Meltzer. And, you know how he feels about Kenny Omega, but it's going to be a great match. It was a good promo and you believed it. Like, and the crowd was into it, which really helps. Like, you could tell he felt it and believed it. The crowd was into it. And really, those were the good ones. So good on him. And then Brian Danielson defeating Bobby Fish with this, with the heel hook. And that was another great match. So good for Bobby Fish. He's had great matches since he's gotten over there. You didn't get to see him do a lot over in WWE. At least I didn't. I mean, unless I missed it all. Sorry. There at the end for the longest time there. Didn't really see him do anything. That one match there at the end. But again, they're in that whole COVID and all that weirdness. Like, you really didn't see him do a lot there towards the end. He's had good matches so far in AEW. You can still see Brian's chest all lit up from the night before, but Bobby Fish, again, put on a hell of a show. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but he's putting on great matches. And that's good because you didn't see him do that for really. I mean, he might have had a good match here and there, but you really didn't see him do much there at the end of his run in AEW. So really, really good, I think, to see him out there having the matches. And he's having matches, great matches with everybody. I mean, that's the important thing. You put him in there, you can have good matches. If you're having good matches, no matter who you're with, that means you're good. Him and Daniel, they have great, the kicks and all that, great styles running into each other there. It's just letting him see what he could do. Like, that's a big, never mind Brian. We all know what he could do. Bobby Fish, I feel he was violently underutilized there for the last forever of his run in NXT. So I think he had that match there against, maybe it was Roddy. At one point, I don't know, he had a match with someone there and forever ago. And he's here and he's had these great matches. So proves he could still do it if people will just use him. But again, with the way they were going in NXT, they weren't going to use him anyway. And once they broke up the UE, I mean, you could tell that meant he was going to be gone. At least just with how much you didn't see him. That was the big thing. So overall, I consider it a good night. We got to see, a lot of people do a lot of things. There wasn't too much, filler that hurt my head. Again, 2 hours, and everything had a purpose, really. And Mox got to do what he's angry, so he went out and beat him, mauled him in a minute's time and walked out, which fit his character and all that. So, I mean, overall, I was okay with it all. I was impressed. Put on a hell of a show. Everything, if you nitpick it, you could always find something that you wish was better. I mean, I still hate FTR. Still think Leo Rush hurts my head. Not saying they're not talented and they can't go. They hurt my head. Never got into it. Never digged it. But it was a good night. Punk mentioned had a little, things here and there. There was good wrestling, and it, led to a lot of, continued a lot of things and added new wrinkles to a lot of things. So we'll see how it all really goes from here. But at least it gave us all, like, we're actually all looking forward to where they go from here. Really, is my takeaway from it. Is I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. And that's a good thing. And there's a lot of good stories going on, a lot of good character building, and great matches. I mean, like, rematch with Deeb. That's actually kind of something to really, really, really look forward to. In my opinion, you guys could think I'm, absolutely out of my mind, but I think that'll lead to a really good thing. We need, like, really good things like that. Her and Sheeta tore the place down, so that'll be good. Whatever they do with MGF will be good. FTR is now the AAA Tag Team Championships. Never got there with that. They put another wrinkle in the inner circle and they brought everyone back with, America Top Team, Malachi Black, and all that. I mean, like, so we'll see what they do. I enjoyed it. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. Again, thanks for checking me out. I appreciate you giving me any time of the day. Don't forget videos, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble, audio, Anchor Breaker, Overcast, Sketcher, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Those are all the ones for monetization. And I also just got, it helps out the sponsors, gets, Anchor's name out there, which is good because the services they give people is phenomenal. And also on iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, and Audible now. So you can check out there too. I greatly appreciate it no matter where it is. It's just those first ones I mentioned, I can keep track of them, regardless of them barely getting monetized, but I can keep track of them, which really helps. So I can, see what everyone's watching. Feel free to like all the platforms, follow along on them, comment on the videos. This helps me out, as you see there. Do it with all of them. Tell me what you think. The more you people interact, the more I know if I'm doing a good job or not. And let me know what you want to talk about, what I missed. What do you think I could have done differently? Your feelings on stuff, let me know. And like always, be good to each other. Enjoy Raw tonight, or at least try to. Be good to each other. And until next time, my friends, peace.